Hi, Janvi.
Hello, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. You're the first to join the meeting, I think.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let's wait for the others.
Okay.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. Okay. Suman and Taiji. Um, guys, I'll just turn off my camera till the other people join in.
और बोलना है यहाँ पे बैठे।
Hi, Prakash. Can you mute yourself? Good evening, Vijay.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, Manpreet.
What about you, ma'am?
I'm good, thank you. Okay, guys, let's start. I'll just wait for the others to join. Guys, if you have yourself unmuted, please mute yourself.
राधे राधे मैम.
Radhe Radhe. Okay, whoever has themselves unmuted, can you mute yourself, please?
Okay मैम.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. Just bear with me 1 second. Okay, let's start.
Radhe Radhe, ma'am.
Radhe Radhe, guys. Okay, just give me 1 second. Sorry. Okay, are we keeping our cameras on? Everyone, let's keep the cameras on.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Shrishti is in the library. Okay. I think Pooja will read your message. Shrishti, Pooja has joined us. Guys, you can also, you're welcome, Shrishti. You can also just unmute yourselves and talk. If you don't want to type. Hi, Harshit, good evening. If you don't want to type, you can also just unmute yourself and talk. Hi, Pooja. Should we share the quiz with them?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let's share the quiz. But I think very few of them have joined yet. Only 18 of them have joined. Guys, if you look at your chat box, there's the link to the quiz. You have to click on this and take this quiz. It's very simple. I made it. Are you guys taking the quiz?
No मैम अभी कर रहे हैं.
You what? Guys, you can click on the link in the chat box. That's the link to your quiz. You have to take the quiz. It's multiple choice questions, very easy quiz. Good evening, Ravi. Ravi, there's the quiz in the chat section. Oh, Prakash got 2 wrong. How come? You're not concentrating. It was a very easy quiz. Okay, we'll let everyone finish, then we'll discuss the answers. Guys, if you go into the chat box, there's the link to the quiz. You have to click on the link and complete the quiz. Pooja, what's your score? Yeah, Tanya Mahajan. Okay. Ooh, very good, Shrishti. Harshit, what's your score? Okay. Tanya, you can rejoin the meeting. Pooja, you'll have to keep pasting the quiz link. I think some people are joining, they're joining late. So you'll have to paste the link again. Arey, why are people getting 3 out of 5? Okay, Vijay did well, 5 out of 5. Good job. Okay, guys, that's the quiz link again for Nidhi and Harshita. Parth also got 3 out of 5. What's going on? Oh no, Janvi also got 3 out of 5. I didn't think the quiz was so difficult. I made it so easy. Anyway, we'll discuss the answers. Because I'm attending the last class. Did you attend the last class, Harshit? Prakash, who's sitting next to you today? Deepak? Who's next to you?
यस मैम पास नहीं है
पास में ही है. ज्यादा पास तो नहीं है.
यस मैम ज्यादा ही पास है
अच्छा, इतना पास मत आओ, गड़बड़ हो जाएगी.
नहीं मैम ज्वाइन कर रहा है
Okay. Okay, Harshit. So I will discuss the quiz questions and then you'll know the answers. Guys, for the rest of you, if you haven't taken the quiz yet, go into the chat box and there's the quiz link there. You have to take this quiz. Four out of 5.
Ma'am, I got 4 out of 5.
Oh no. Okay, let me see the quiz.
हेलो मैम क्विज को एक बार और से मतलब लिंक शेयर कर सकते हैं
हाँ जी, कर सकते हैं. Pooja, you'll just have to keep. Oh no, somebody got 3. Anjali got 5. Good. Manjar got 4. Harshita got 5. Very good. Suman got 4. Link मिल गया? We pasted the link again.
यस मैम मिल गया वो इसके मोबाइल में नहीं हो रहा था ना दीपक का
Okay. 3. Tanya got 5. Very good. Nidhi got 5. Guys, who all have not taken the quiz yet? किसने quiz नहीं किया अभी तक? Pooja, can you see how many inputs you've received? How many people have submitted the quiz? We can start a session. So then when should I discuss the answers to the quiz?
Ma'am, we can start discussing.
Now, but then those who are taking the quiz will know the answers then.
We can't do anything. I can close the form if you want.
Oh no, wait. Okay, guys. Letting you guys know, we only have 37 participants today. Letting you know that you can take the quiz through this session. We will discuss the answers at the end of the session today, okay? So that everyone has taken the quiz and we will have enough time to discuss the answers. So right now I'm not discussing the quiz answers. I'll do it in the end. And every session that you attend, you will have the quiz at the beginning of the session, just as a refresher to ensure that you remember things that were discussed in the last session. Let's turn the cameras on, everyone. Let's turn the cameras on and we'll start. Please remember that your attendance is marked based on your camera. Okay, let's see everyone. Nitin, Deepak, Janvi, okay. Manpreet, all right. Guys, let's turn on the cameras if you want your attendance marked. So just letting you know again that your attendance will be marked if your camera is on and if you participate in the sessions. These are soft skills sessions, so these are not like technical sessions. You will have to interact a lot in the sessions. Okay, I see Palak. Palak is not well, not keeping well. Oh, she's just smiling. Palak, are you not well? You're okay? Okay. Akansha. All right, guys, I see your cameras. Archita, did you just wake up? She has bad hair. अरे join कर लिया पहले फिर बाल ठीक हो रहे हैं. Okay. No problem, guys. It doesn't matter what you look like. Okay. I can't on my camera. हाँ, Shrishti, you are okay. Shrishti, you are okay. Bobby, the attendance is marked by Pooja. YouTube classes. Okay. Pooja will share the YouTube link at the end of the session. She will share the link for the recording. You're welcome, Shrishti. Okay, guys. Yes, I see you all. I don't see Tanya because she's having some network issues. That's fine. Okay, I see a lot of it. Good job. Okay, guys, let's all turn on the camera. Okay, before I start the session for today, do we have any questions from the last session? Does anyone have any questions? Anything that you want to ask me or tell me before we start the session? How to attend the quiz? Okay. Pooja will paste the link once again in the chat box, and then you can just click on the link and you can take the quiz. Pooja भी परेशान हो गई करते करते. Okay. ठीक है. Link open नहीं हो रहा. ये वाला करके देखो दीपक. अभी जो paste किया. Okay. All right, guys. Do we have any questions? I was absent in yesterday's class. Okay. Rishi, you can still take the quiz. How many types of resumes? We will discuss that today, Vijay. We will discuss that today. Vijay, we'll discuss that today, or the next session we'll discuss resumes and how to make the resumes and how many types of resumes are out there. We'll see all of that. Pooja zara Deepak kar wo khul nahi raha quiz. Can you just talk to me?
I checked the link. It's correct.
Even I
I think
opened
there
it.
is some network issue or some kind of settings in his device.
Even I opened it, Deepak. Khul to raha hai. Okay. All right, guys, let's start. And do we have any questions, any thoughts, anything that anyone wants to ask me or tell me? You can ask me now. So in the last session, for those of you who did not attend the session, this is what we discussed the last time. We started interview preparedness and we discussed what all you need to do to prepare for an interview and what all you need to do before you go for the interview. So just bear with me. All right, so we discussed how you get ready for an interview, and we discussed that before you go for an interview, you need to research about the company that you're applying with. You need to check the values and ethics of the company, the mission, the culture, the vision of the company, things like that. Where can we find all these things? Where can we find all this information on the company website?
About section.
Yes, very good, Nidhi. About us section in the company, on the company website, we can find this information. Then we will either create a resume. If you have never made a resume, either we'll make one resume, or if you have already worked, then we'll update the resume before we go for another interview. And another very important thing is to read the JD and KRAs. What is JD?
Job description.
Very good, Nidhi. And KRAs?
Key responsibilities area.
Very good, Manpreet. Key responsibility areas. Very good, guys. And then who can tell what is ethics? Vijay, you attended the last session, right? Vijay Kumar, you attended the last session or not? Yes. So we went through all the ethics. Remember values and ethics like accountability, innovation, work-life balance, sensitivity, inclusivity. Sorry, Manpreet, what were you saying?
Moral values.
Moral values. So basically your moral values that translate into your professionalism or professional values. It's all the same thing, doing the right thing. And one of the most important values that we discussed last time was integrity, which means doing the right thing, which was also in your quiz today. So Vijay, we discussed this last time. Okay, who can tell me the difference between JD and KRAs, your job description and KRAs? Yes, Suman, you're right. Does anyone remember the difference between job description and KRAs?
Maybe the job description is the thing that that is written in the official documents, or like the basic things you have to follow in your job, maybe you can say. And
Yeah,
the whole description and the summarized form of what you are doing and what's your roles and responsibilities.
that's KRAs, right? Yes, Tejas, that is correct. And Harshita is also telling us that JD will show the responsibilities before starting. So the major difference is that your job description is generally given to you before the interview. So when you're applying for a job, it generally shows you the job description. So you understand that, okay, this is the job that I'm applying for, and this is what I will have to do in the job. That is literally the description of the job. It's generally brief, just to give you an idea of what the designation is and what your responsibilities will be. However, if after you get a job, after you've joined the job, then you have your KRAs, which is more detailed. It's like a checklist that you have to do this, and your KRAs are basically what you need to meet in order to earn your salary. So KRAs are also very, very important, and you should know your KRAs. In case you have joined a company and you've not been given your KRAs, or nobody has explained your KRAs to you, then ask for them. It's a good idea to ask for them so that you can separate what you need to do versus what you can do, which is extra, which is something like taking an initiative, being proactive and doing extra work. That will be initiative. So the reason why I'm saying this, guys, this is very, very important. There is something called taking initiative. Can somebody tell me what initiative means? Taking initiative?
Initiative can be simply means that what roles or what responsibilities are you gonna do, maybe.
No, that
Like
is your KRAs. So
like taking an
Taking
initiative
step.
of that, they had given you some problems and you're like, okay, I will direct the whole project, so it's an
okay,
initiative.
yeah, that's partially right. Nidhi, what were you saying?
I'm saying that initiative means taking step towards it.
Taking steps
Yeah,
towards something.
yeah, asking about it.
Okay, Shrishti is also saying making first attempt. You guys are close, but you haven't really like put your finger on it. So basically, the main thing about taking an initiative means that nobody has asked you to do it. So, for example, if you enter a room and you see some paper on the floor, and if you pick it up and throw it in the dustbin, you are taking an initiative. Nobody asked you to pick that up, right? But you saw something, you said, okay, I can do that. And you did that. If you see, for example, you know how sometimes we go to food courts and we eat, and after we eat, somebody comes and cleans the table and they take away your tray. But if you're saying, I can throw my own garbage, you throw your garbage and you put the tray back, then you're taking the initiative to help the housekeeping person. So initiative basically means that you're doing something without being asked to do it. Sometimes we can take initiatives at our job also. So for example, let's say if Pooja was not present today, and Nidhi said, okay, I'll take the attendance since Pooja is not here, then we'll say Nidhi has taken the initiative to take the attendance. Or if Manpreet says that, oh, I can share the quiz link. So remember how somebody, Deepak, was saying that the link is not working, can somebody share the link? And if Manpreet had pasted the link in the chat box, she would be taking the initiative to do that. So basically, taking initiative means that you're doing something extra without being asked to do it. Nobody's telling you to do it. Now, the reason why I'm explaining initiative, and initiative is generally done proactively, which means that you do it yourself without being asked. So they're kind of similar in meaning. When you do something proactively, it means that you're doing it on your own without being asked, and taking initiative is also the same. The reason why I'm explaining this to you, the reason why I'm telling you what being proactive means and what taking initiative means, is because once you start working, you will want to do some of these extra things, which is also sort of like maska marna apne boss ko. So your manager or your supervisor, you want to impress them, so you want to do some extra things. So you're like, sir, can I do this? Sir, I'll go get the printout, I will brief the team, I can share the updates, these things. So these are very good things, and you are taking that initiative to do something extra. However, initiatives can only be taken after you've completed your KRA. If you haven't completed your KRAs, and you start taking initiatives, you start spending time on other things, then your boss will call you and say, what's wrong with your performance? You haven't completed your tasks. And you say, I was doing something else. I was training the team. Then the manager will say, I never asked you to train the team. So you can only do something extra after you finished what you were supposed to finish, right? So you first have to know your KRAs, you have to complete your KRAs, and only after completing your KRAs, you should do extra work or take extra initiatives. Did everyone understand that?
Yes,
Yeah?
ma'am.
Okay. All right, let's move ahead. So we discussed this the last time, and then we were discussing that when you're researching about the company, what all do you need to know? So we did discuss that you can go to their website, you can check social media pages. A lot of the companies actually share their real-time updates on X also. X, that used to be Twitter. So most companies are active on Twitter or X. So for example, if Reliance is planning to acquire another company, they will post it on their X that, hey, we're planning to acquire another company. We're planning to buy out Airtel or Vodafone. So they will put it on X first, and they will also put it on their website. The thing is, updating your website takes time, and it's more difficult to update your website. However, for the little updates on a daily basis, you can do it directly on X, and you can also do it on your Instagram page. You can do it on LinkedIn, and all these social media pages. So you should get in-depth information about the company on their website, on their social media pages, employee reviews. For example, which websites did we discuss last time for employee reviews?
Glassdoor,
Glassdoor and Ambition Box.
Very good. Glassdoor, Ambition Box, and Google.
Reddit.
Reddit also. Tejas was the one who talked about Reddit. So Reddit is a very dangerous and a very powerful place, guys, because Reddit, I would say Reddit is very interesting. Just be careful about your footprint on Reddit, because I will say this, that Reddit existed before social media. So before all these interactive Facebook, Instagram, X, this, that, before all these came up, Reddit existed. So Reddit, I will sound biased, but I will say this, that the people who use Reddit are actually more intelligent, I would say, than people who use social media, because social media is like, you don't really need brains. You're just like scrolling. But I would also say this, that Reddit can really help you widen your vocabulary and generally to improve your fluency. I'll tell you myself what I follow on Reddit. There is a subreddit called No Sleep. Has anyone ever heard of No Sleep?
Yes, ma'am.
You follow No Sleep, Tejas?
I don't follow it, but I know about it.
Okay, so No Sleep. Personally, I love horror as a genre. I like horror a lot. So on No Sleep, people go and write horror stories. And if you read those they're short stories. If you read the horror stories, they're so well written, and they are scarier and better written than most movies that you'll watch. Like, you will get really scared by reading some of the stories because it's written so well. So if you want to improve your sentence construction, how to write a sentence, how to express yourself, how to describe something, if you're reading something, are you able to visualize it? Reddit is also a good place. The only thing that I will tell you is be careful, because people on Reddit, because they've been on the internet for the longest time, they're very good at, for example, tracking somebody. So they know how to track IP addresses and all of that. So don't do anything wrong on Reddit. Mostly just be a consumer, go and read things, read up on the news. There are very cute subreddits also. There are informative Reddits also. You can post a question there, but just be careful. That's all I'll say. So yeah, Reddit is also a good source. So do you remember the last time I was talking about this huge Hollywood scandal that's going on right now, the legal case between Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively? Will you believe this? People have been posting on Reddit. They've been posting information on Reddit, and these two people, these two Hollywood giants, go to Reddit, they read what the people are saying, and they've started including that in their legal admissions. So they are actually using what people on Reddit are saying because it's like evidence. People are very, very smart on Reddit. So that's definitely a good source. Generally, also.
Do you really follow Hollywood cases?
Sorry?
Do you really follow Hollywood cases?
This one is hard to miss. This has become bigger than Johnny Depp and Amber Heard.
I
So
had enjoyed it very much on on Reddit too and on Google too. And I just want it's so good. It's not bad. I'm not saying it in a bad way that it was good, but the thing is the whole climax, the whole story, the whole drama is going on is very far away from the Indian cinema and Indian Bollywood.
yeah,
Like you can say.
yeah. Which one? This one or Amber Heard?
I could say Amber Heard one was the most influential, but this one is also it's the new one and it's trending, so we can say this too.
Yeah, this is becoming bigger than Amber Heard because
Yeah.
in that case, it was not so sensational. One person did not look so guilty. Here, it is insane. It's so much fun to follow it on a daily basis. But anyway, those of you who don't know about the case, you will not understand. But just letting you know that everything is on Reddit, and Reddit is very fast in updating the information because people talk there a lot. But apart from these social media pages where you can research about the company, there are other places that you can get first-hand information. First-hand information, guys, when you get some information that is first-hand or direct from source, there's an idiom. Do you know what idioms are? Muhavra?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah, so there are idioms, or you can even say common phrases. So there is an idiom called from the horse's mouth. So from the horse's mouth is an idiom to say from the direct source. So I would say that if you want to find out about a company, then if you go to their website, you are taking information from the horse's mouth or from the direct source. So to find out about the company, the main page would be the company's website. And if you go into the about us section of the company, you can see their values, company values, you can say their mission, who their management is. How is somebody able to draw on the screen? Wait, let me see. Pooja, can you take the access?
Can I
Okay.
ask you a question?
Yes, of course.
It's not from the topic, it's out of the box. If you are okay, so then can
Yeah.
I ask?
Yeah,
So, which side are you on?
yeah.
I'm curious to know this.
Well, I'm on the right side.
Like in Ryan Reynolds or Blake Lively?
No, Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively.
Oh, sorry. Justin Baldoni and so which side are you on?
Justin Baldoni.
Okay. May I know why? Just in a 2-3
Oh,
seconds.
well, he's right. All the evidence supports him. It's a
Okay.
fake claim. All these fake claims, guys, these days, all these fake alimony cases, fake sexual harassment cases. So this is also like a fake case. So he's right, probably.
Okay. Same here, by the way.
Yeah, everyone's on his side. It's become a movement, which is good because we are not blindly supporting women. We are supporting what's right. So anyway, sorry. So guys, we will go on the company website, and it's important to read about their values, who the management is, the type of products they offer, also about their revenue, what kind of business have they been doing, what other updates are going on. And you can find all this on their about us page, and you can also go through their website to see what interests you, what information is important for you. And you can find this on their about us page. If you want to apply for a job, then you have to look for the careers page or work with us page. And then for the investment information, there is an investors relations page on every company's website. Also, researching about their company will will help you align your CV with their expectations, and it will also help you answer the question about the firm during the interview. So sometimes during the interview, guys, the interview will be very smart, and he will ask you, what do you know about us? Yeah, sometimes they ask you this question also, that okay, so you've applied for a job with us, but what do you know about us? So in that case, it's a good idea to read up about the company a little bit. About in their about us section, you read a little bit so that you can answer this question. Also, last time also I was telling you that the best way to approach an interview is to find like a fit. This is the company, this is the job, and this is my resume, and I have to make it in a way that it's a perfect fit. So if you go through their values and ethics, this is the example that I gave you the last time as well, that if you look at their mission, if you look at their values and ethics and read up about them, and then you talk about it in the interview and you say that I align so much with your values and ethics, I have similar values, and I really admire how dedicated you are to the economy. For example, if you're talking about Tata, you can say that I love that you're so patriotic and that you want India to do better. You can talk about these things in the interview, and you will get to know about it only when you try to find out about the company. So you need to read up about the company a little bit in order to answer these questions. And do you remember that one question that we had discussed, guys? Some of you had asked me that if the interviewer asks us, how would you sorry, do you have any questions for me, how do we answer that question? Do you have any questions for me? And I had told you the last time that never say no. So if the interviewer, Daiji, if the interviewer is asking you that do you have any questions for me, don't say no, I don't have any questions for you, because this will show that you're not confident, or that you are not taking the opportunity, that you're not interested. So there, to ask a question, read the last point. It says if you're familiar with the organization, you can also ask relevant questions to the interviewer. So when they say, do you have any questions for me, you can say, hey, yeah, I saw on your website, I saw an update on your website that you're planning to take over another company. Is that true? That is so exciting, something like that. So you can ask something related to what they have written on their website, which shows, it shows so many things. It shows that you took the initiative to read about them. It shows that you're really interested in the job. It shows that you're serious about the job, that you did some research before coming for the interview. So it looks really good on your part. So it's always a good idea to just skim through the company on their website. Do we have any questions, guys? Anybody who has any questions so far? Okay, let's go ahead. So when you're reading about them on their website, these are some of the things that you need to check on their website. What is the company's mission and values? So basically, we did talk about the last time that the company's mission is, where do they want to be? What do they want to do with the company? That's the company's mission. For example, like a Tata would say something like, we want to empower Indians, we want to make things accessible for Indians, we want India to do well, things like that. That's the company mission generally. And values we discussed yesterday, that what are some of the morals that they stand by, what is their work culture like. So those things we discussed yesterday, you can go through that. And if you are able to incorporate, guys, this is very important, if you are able to incorporate the company's mission and values in your interview answers, you will do so well. When we practice this, I'll show you this, but you should know these things and try to include them in your answers. Who leads the organization and who works for it? Please definitely check who is the CEO of the company that you're applying with. Just know the name of the CEO, which you will also find either in the About Us section or in the management section. Who are we? Something like that. It says something like who we are, or the management, or about us. You can check that. You should know the CEO of the company. Imagine going to a Reliance interview or a Tata interview and not knowing who Ratan Tata was or who Ambani is. So that will seem very, very silly. So please check a little bit about the CEO of the, or the founder of the company. If you're working with a startup, then please visit their LinkedIn and check their LinkedIn, because startup owners are generally very dynamic. They're fun, they're young, they think out of the box, they're doing something against the tide. So it's always a good idea to read a little bit about them. For startups specifically, Prakash, you will find probably all the startup owners. You guys get so easily distracted, my god. So you will find a lot of these startup owners, most of them would have done some sort of a TED talk also. TED talk is very common for startup owners. So you can even go watch one of their TED talks, see what their passion is, what are they talking about. And then if you're able to bring that up during the interview, brownie points. Do we know what brownie points are?
No,
Brownie
ma'am.
point, you can say cherry on the top.
Cherry on the top, another idiom. Okay. Yes, you're right, but doesn't describe it. Somebody else was talking? Brownie points?
No, ma'am.
No. Okay. Nidhi?
Extra points, like to impress someone by something.
Yeah, it's brownie points basically means extra points or bonus points. So basically, when you're impressing your boss or a company, if you know something extra, it's like brownie. You are in their good books. You are on their side. You earn some extra points, something like that. So knowing all this will fetch you some brownie points. So you should basically look at the management a little bit. Who is the CEO? Who is the leadership team? The top people, like the top 2 3 people, and their board of directors. You don't have to obviously memorize their names, what they do, etc., but just a basic idea of who is heading the company. And you can check who the CEO is, who the director or president is, and all this, what is their background and what can you learn about the direction they're taking the organization. These things you can find in a TED talk, for example, if they've ever done a TED talk, or if they've written their story. Sometimes they also write our story. Excuse me. For example, if you've ever read Microsoft's, I think it was Microsoft, if you ever read their story, it starts with how they started out of a garage. They started in a garage, their parents'
Yeah,
garage,
no.
right? So that's their story. And if you talk about it in the interview and say, oh, I admire that so much, it is so aspirational, it is so admirable that they started out of a garage and today it's one of the biggest companies in the world. I would love to associate myself with a company like that. These are the kind of answers that you should give in the interview, guys. So interviews have changed a lot. अभी वो घिसा पिटा नहीं चलेगा, like just memorizing a little bit of your introduction and the kind of companies that you worked with. Now you have to be really impressive and you have to be really creative with your answers. But the good news is that you can find a lot of this information on the company website itself. So you will get a lot of your answers from there. Also, learn a little bit about the person who runs the department that you're joining. So for example, if you're applying for a job in IT or if you're applying for a job in HR, then just check who the HR director is, what kind of department is it, how many people does it have, and things like that. So this is just some additional information. You don't have to get it, but if you have access to it, then it's very good. Get a sense of the organization. How big is the organization? Sometimes you may join a startup. I got an opportunity to join a startup once, guys. It's so funny. I got an opportunity to join a startup and I joined it and then I left it. I'll tell you why. Because I joined the startup. There was the founder or the CEO of the company of the startup. Then there was the VP, vice president, and I was the assistant vice president. It sounds so nice, you're the assistant vice president of a company. When I joined the company and I went to the company, it had 10 people. Okay, so I was the assistant vice president for those 10 people. Okay, and I asked them, okay, what do I need to do? They said, okay, we are making calls. We have a team that's making calls, and then we have to go meet the clients. I was like, okay, who's going to meet the client? And they're like, you are going to meet the client. And I was like, okay, it's very hot. Can we have the AC on? They're like, you can turn on the AC yourself. You can make tea yourself. We even had to make tea and coffee ourselves. So that is actually the reality of a lot of startups, guys. In startups, it's like it's a coin. You know how it has flip sides. So there's pros and cons of joining startups. The pro is that if the startup, it's a gamble, okay, for startups. If you join a startup, it can become really big. So the potential is there that today, if I joined as an AVP for a company that has 10 employees, possibly it'll become 1 lakh employees and I'll be the AVP for 1 lakh employees. So there's potential. And it's very dynamic, it's fun, you get to learn a lot, definitely. But the con is that you have to do everything yourself, everything from scratch. nobody's there to help you. You don't have pantry boys, you don't have housekeeping staff, you don't have assistants, you don't have interns. Sometimes you have interns, but the con is that you have to do everything yourself. But the pro in that con is that you learn a lot because you're doing everything yourself. The learning curve is really big, and you actually learn a lot in startups. So there's nothing wrong with startups, but the point here is that you can join, I mean, you should read a little bit about the company. Pooja, do multiple people have access to the screen? Can you see this? I don't know how that's happening. It's the first time that's happening. Don't really have an idea. If anybody does, please let me know. And also, in terms of the rights, Pooja, if you can control that. Yeah. Yeah, plus point. Sorry, Nidhi, I missed your answer. So a plus point is also like brownie points. So guys, when you're applying with a company, definitely read about how big the company is and what the sorry, did I stop sharing? Did I stop sharing, or can you still see it? I accidentally
Yes, you
closed it.
stop
Stop
sharing your
sharing.
screen.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I accidentally canceled that. Prakash, okay. Bear with me. Sorry, I will share again.
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry. So I was talking about how you should definitely know the size of the company, because startups may have like, a startup can even have 2-3 people in it. Okay, so it can have 2 3 10 15 20 people in it, versus like all the established companies like your Wipro or Genpact, they will have lakhs and lakhs of people. So you should have a general sense of how many people will be there, how many departments are there, how many how big is the department, how many people are there in each department. So I'll give you an example, guys. I was under the impression that in a company there's a CEO, there's a vice president, there's assistant vice president, there's a director, things like that. There are senior managers and things like that. When I joined I didn't join Genpact. I trained for Genpact for many years. I've worked as a freelancer for Genpact as well, and I've trained there. Guys, in Genpact, every business has an AVP, VP, director. Every business has like so many hierarchies. It's so confusing because they have different products, right? So, for example, Genpact will have an insurance company, it will have a hospital, it will have a different company. So, every vertical, every business that they have will have their own director, their own vice president, their own assistant vice president. So, then I feel like it doesn't have the equal amount of weightage. I mean, it's not so important because there are so many of them. So that kind of gives you perspective of how the company works and what the hierarchy is like. So you should probably look at that also. So to get a sense of the size of the organization and the size of the teams and the departments, you can probably find it on LinkedIn also. Okay, then what do they look for in an employee? So this you can learn from the company's culture also, their values, ethics, their mission. So you should know a little bit of what kind of people do they appreciate. So for example, when I was talking about startups earlier, because startups are quite dynamic, they sometimes look for dynamic people. They look for people who wear a lot of hats. They say, what's the saying? Who knows the saying? Jack of all trades, master of none. Jack of all trades. So they will look for people who are able to multitask, who are not egoistic and say, like people like me, who are like, just because I'm an AVP, I will not make my own tea. So startups don't appreciate that. They're like, okay, you should be able to do everything. So have your ego low and just be willing to work a lot. So things like that. So you should look at the company's culture, their environment, their hiring practices, things like that. For example, in certain companies, guys, I can give you examples. Companies like Wipro, companies like Genpact, companies like, guys, can you stop? Sorry, Pooja.
You can stop animation for participants while sharing the screen.
Sorry, could you say that again, Pooja?
Ma'am, you can stop the annotation from participants while sharing the screen.
Okay, let me see. How can I do
I will
that?
change the settings from the upcoming meetings.
Okay. Let me just see. Oh, disable note. Oh, right, Pooja. I disabled it. Thank you for that. All right, guys. So I was telling you that the big companies like your Wipros, Genpacts, Dell, even HCL, these companies hire so often that they have hiring days. Like every Wednesday, they will hire people. So those are hiring days because those companies are so big. So you should know about these because then that'll give you an idea of how much the company is growing also, and it also probably will give you a little bit of idea of their iteration. What is their there's a word for it, guys. I'm forgetting. Who can tell me the word of how many people leave the company? What's the word?
Retention, I guess.
No, retention is if you are able to keep them. Yeah, so retention is a good word, guys. Retention means that nobody is leaving the company and you're able to retain all of your employees. I'm forgetting the word.
Employee turnover.
Employee turnover.
Employee
Turnover.
turnover.
Okay, employee turnover.
Separation.
Hmm?
Separation.
Separation. Okay, those are good words. It'll come to me. It'll come to me. I think it's called attrition.
Yes, ma'am, attrition word.
Yeah,
Attrition
attrition.
word, ma'am.
Employee turnover rate.
Pooja, what was that?
Employee turnover rate.
Yeah. So some of you did say employee turnover rate, but attrition is the word I was looking for. Attrition means how many people left your company. And if your attrition rate, so if your attrition rate, Vijay, are you saying something to me? Vijay? Okay. Anyway, so guys, the attrition rate is basically how many employees leave the company. So you should, this also gives you an idea. You can look at the attrition rate of a company because if a company has a high attrition rate, it probably shows you that it's not a good place to work at. Why are so many people leaving? Yeah. And how many people are they hiring? This kind of gives you an idea of what the company, which direction is it heading in, and how many people do they generally hire and things like that. So you can look for that also on their website. Then this is a good example, guys. So when they say what do they look for in an employee, these are some of the examples. So for example, if it's an NGO or a non-profit organization, which is an NGO or a charity, they will look for people who are very passionate. So for example, I work with dogs. So if I'm applying for a job with an NGO, they will see what kind of a person am I, how passionate am I about animal welfare, do I come across as a kind person, what kind of projects am I doing on individual level. So I work in adoptions, I work in rescue, so I should be able to show the evidence for all of this. However, if you're working with a startup, they may look for dynamic people who like to work really hard, who can put on a lot of different hats. So this is what I was talking about earlier. And then definitely, guys, when you're applying for a company, you should know the main product or service that they're into. Yeah, you should know what they're into, basically. What product are they selling or what services are they selling? You don't need to know too much. But for example, if you go to like a Facebook, if you're applying for Facebook and you're like, they ask you, do you know what Facebook does? What services we are in? And you're like, I don't know. Do you sell something? You know, something that'll sound so stupid. So you should know basically what they're into. So this also you can find on their company website. What kind of products are they offering? And also, what is the USP? How are they different from their competition? If they have a USP, you should know about this as well, which is probably the next point. One of the next points. Who are their customers? Are they only selling within India, which will make them a local company, versus do they have customers across the world, which will make them a multinational company? And what kind of customers do they have? Is it B2B, B2C? Do you know these terms, guys? B2B, B2C, what does that mean?
Business
Business to business or
Business and
business to
business to
customer.
business.
Absolutely. So when it's business to business, it is more professional because your two businesses
to
are
customer.
interacting. When it's business to customer, then anything could happen. So I'll give you an example that I used to work for Orange UK, and we were B2C, which meant that we were a business interacting with the customers. I was handling calls from UK, okay, so mostly from England, and we were also allowed to speak in Hindi. If a customer wanted to speak in Hindi, we could speak in Hindi. And once I got a call from this Sardarji, and he called me, said, "बहन मेरा phone बंद कर दिया." So I was like, "आप phone का bill pay कर दो." कहते, "मैं कहाँ से bill pay करूँ? मैं तो बर्तन धोता हूँ, मैं तो रेस्टोरेंट में बर्तन धोता हूँ, मेरी बहन." So I was like, I was in such a dilemma because I was managing a business, right? I was representing the business, Orange. I needed the customer to pay his bill, and but the customer is telling me, "मैं तो बर्तन धोता हूँ." So how can I find a solution to that, right? It was so funny. Well, it wasn't funny. I was very concerned because this person was crying and he was saying, "मैं बर्तन धोता हूँ and मैं पैसे कहाँ से लाऊं?" I could understand what he was trying to tell me. I could understand that, but from a business perspective, I couldn't do anything. Like, I couldn't help him. So I did my best. I spoke to my supervisor and I said, I went up to my supervisor. I went up to my supervisor and I said, "I've got a customer online and he was not able to pay his bill." And my supervisor said, "Why can't he pay his bill?" I said, "वो बर्तन धोता है restaurant में." And he's like, "Rajni, stop being so emotional on calls. Just go tell him to pay his bill." And I was like, "But वो बर्तन धोता है." I got like really like sucked into it. But anyway, I tried to give him a discount. I extended his like the due date and things like that. So that's all you can do. But the problem with business to customers is that, you know, you can find anyone, you can come across anything. It may not stay professional. We used to have people who used to flirt with us. Time pass करने के लिए call कर देते थे, then they used to flirt with us. So that kind of it kind of muddles up the professionalism of the call. B2B is much easier and it stays professional. So you should know that also. What kind of customers are they handling? Okay, and then you should know who is interviewing you. Guys, listen, this is a very, very important point. When you apply for a job and you get a call, so I'm calling Manpreet and I'm saying, "Hi Manpreet, I'm calling from Google. You've got an interview with us. So just informing you about the interview." She'll say, "Okay." So I'll say, "Okay, the interview is on the 25th. You have to come to this office at this date, this time." Then Manpreet should say, "Okay, and would you be able to tell me who will be interviewing me? Would you be able to tell me?" This also shows confidence, guys, and there is no harm in asking that. You have the right to know who's interviewing you. The other person might say, this person will be interviewing you, so they might tell you, "Okay, this person from this department." And sometimes they might say that, "We don't really know, we have a lot of people in HR, so somebody from HR will interview you." But that will also give you some information on which department. So understand this. I'm just stopping sharing for a second, guys. This is also very important. Okay, this is one aspect of interviews that you may not have realized, that your interview will be very different depending on which department is interviewing you. Can somebody give me this answer? How so?
What, ma'am?
Arre wah. I'm telling you that your interview will also be very different depending on which department is interviewing you. So when you go for an interview, there are generally rounds, right? You know that there's first round, second round, third round. So which department is interviewing you also decides what kind of interview it will be, what kind of questions they'll ask you. So for example, I'll give you my personal example. I have applied for a lot of jobs in my career, guys, and I have taken a lot of jobs that I didn't like, to be honest. I even got a job as a flight stewardess with Indigo Airlines. Yo, I joined as an air hostess, but I didn't like it. So I left the job in 2 days. Don't do that. But I'll tell you. So when I went for the interview, I'll give you an example of the rounds. So for airlines, for
Like you,
hotels,
Tata.
hmm? Yeah,
There
Prakash?
are more
like you,
rounds
Tata.
in airline interviews. I know. One of my friend's sister has applied for it. So for the first round, you had to apply in that job. They call you, and for the first round, they just check how do you look really.
Yeah.
For especially for female stewards and male stewards, they don't look so much, but the female stewards should be in like less. The weight amount should be less, and makeup should be professional, dresses should be professional, and all. And for the second round, they see how you walk. And after that, there is a GD round, and there is more and more rounds. And after that, at last, they just PI you and like judge you how you gonna be if you are a flight attendant or a steward.
Oh, Manpreet, did you apply with Indigo? You can just, yeah.
Oh,
Manpreet, talk.
मैम इंडिगो नहीं थी, वो एक और लाइन थी, मुझे भी नेम नहीं याद आ रहा, बट मैं गई नहीं थी, मेरा सिलेक्शन हो चुका था एज अ ग्रेजुएशन बेस्ड.
Oh, yeah. So, to add to what Tejas was saying, before I add to what Tejas said, Prakash, you were saying something, sorry, before Tejas started talking. What were you saying? Prakash?
Yes, ma'am, हो गया.
हो गया पता नहीं क्या ही हो गया. Okay, so guys, depends on the company that you're working with airlines. For example, for Indigo Airlines and a lot of these airlines, there are so many people who are applying for the job. There are so many candidates that they just have like a sea of people who appear for the interview. So they do a walk-in first. In that walk-in interview, there are like 500 1000 people coming for the interview. So they do a very quick screening. Like they just said, they could see how you're dressed, how you talk, how you introduce yourself. Sometimes they will have a group discussion. So guys, companies who do group discussions, that's a sign for you that it's a very big company and they're screening you. So basically they are saying that if they put you in a group of 10 to 12 people, are you able to stand out? So group discussions, even though we are not discussing group discussions too much here, guys, I'll try to cover it.
why?
You want group discussion also, Tejas?
Like in our CSC and CSGs, it's the main part. So I think it's important too.
Okay, okay, I'll try and incorporate that. But guys, in group discussions, one main point is that don't think that I'll wait for my turn. I'll wait for others to finish and I'll talk in the end or something. Don't do that too much, or don't wait for somebody to say, Prakash, do you have something to say? Nobody will do that. In a group discussion, what they're looking for is to see how are you standing out in a group discussion, how confident are you, how much can you talk, and whatever you're saying, is it making sense or not? So this is basically what they're looking for. So group discussion is basically a
Okay.
screening process. The 15 लोगों को group में डाल दो, and the 2-3 that talk, we'll send them to the next round. So be very careful of group discussions. So for Indigo, for example, there's like a group discussion, there's an initial screening, then there's an HR round, then there's a round with really experienced flight stewardesses. So they'll give you situations that what will you do in this situation, what qualities do you think you need, and you know what, in the end you have a round with the CEO. So the CEO actually talks with every person who's getting hired. So that may also happen. Okay, Bijay is giving us extra tips. He's saying that I think for the airline interviews, they look at personality, communication, soft skills, education, etc. And he's saying that group discussion is not a debate. So keep it as a group discussion and don't add political topics. Very important, guys. Don't talk about your personal opinions in group discussions, and don't say something that is very like extreme or political. Let's not do that in group discussions. Yes, Tejas.
One more tip I want to add. There are some points for the initiator and the summarizer, or like the end person who just summarizes the whole thing.
Yes.
And some points for the people who talk very factually, and some points are also for how you speak the specific words.
Yes.
Really.
Yes. So somebody who initiates the group discussion gets extra points as the initiator, taking the initiative, that he was proactive to start, and somebody who summarizes also, and also guys, somebody who takes a stand, who speaks against everyone else. So generally everyone would have like a similar opinion, and the person who says, no, I don't agree with that, my point is completely different, that person generally also gets an extra point as long as they can make sense. You can't just say I don't agree with that and then like why don't you agree? No, I don't have a
One
point
more
for
thing,
that.
one more thing, one
Hmm.
Wait, guys. So the thing is, you have to stick on only one point. If you change your side, you will be out. You will be out literally.
Really, literally. I will disagree with that a little bit, and I will say this, that during a group discussion, you can have a very strong point, a strong opinion, and then Arushi says, no, I learned this, I read about this, and the fact is that this is so and so. Then if I say, oh, okay, yeah, that does make sense, Arushi, and I will add something to that, and you can do that. So sometimes accepting somebody else's point or acknowledging that somebody has made a very good point, adding on to that, complimenting them, that can also sound good. So not all. So what who was that, Bijay, I think, when he said that don't turn a group discussion into a debate, that's correct. That you don't have to take a very strong stand in a group discussion. You don't have to say, Pooja, you are wrong. No, I don't agree with you. You don't have to do that. It's a group discussion. Everyone can have their opinions, and you can say, yeah, Pooja, that's a good point. I'll also make another point and something like that. Pooja, are you saying something?
Say that group discussion is a debate in a polite way. Like, it's soon after it started, it converted into a debate.
Yeah.
Just
Please don't. Please don't, guys. When Vijay said that a group discussion is different from a debate, don't turn it into debate. He's right. You don't have to argue with somebody. You can also say, yes, I agree with you, and this is my point. You can also say that, which is nicer. But in India, unfortunately, even the HR doesn't understand that a group discussion is not a debate. So they're like, low, stand low, which is wrong. Group discussion means you're having a discussion, a very normal discussion. So that's another point. So wait, I wanted to tell you that depending on which department is interviewing you, you have to change your answers. HR will always ask you very generic answers. They will look at things like, how are you dressed? How are you, like, what's your personality like? Are you able to speak well? Are you fluent? Can you communicate well? Is your grammar good, for example? Are you getting stuck? Are you feeling very nervous? मैम पानी मिलेगा? बोला नहीं जा रहा मैम, आंसर नहीं आ रहा. ये HR generally so does all this. It's very generic. They're basically sent to see candidate sahi hai ki nahi, and they capture your information. So they'll say, okay, how much experience do you have? They'll write that. Which other companies did you work with? They'll write that. Things like that. That's it. After that, generally after HR, there's the operations round. Operations means that the department that you'll work with, somebody from that department will interview you. Then they'll ask you more focused questions that have you worked before? How much do you know about this technology? How much technical knowledge do you have? Things like that. So that is more focused. And then if it's the CEO, then the CEO doesn't care about your technical knowledge. Then they'll look at your values, your ethics, things like that. So depending on which department you're interviewing with, get a general sense of what kind of answers should you be giving. Did you understand this bit? HR versus operations versus the owner of the company or the CEO of the company.
Yeah.
Approach it like that. Yeah.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
basically, yeah, when you get a call and they say that you're coming for an interview, it's not a bad idea to say, okay, who will I be meeting with? Or would you be able to tell me who will interview me? They'll say, oh, somebody from HR. Or they may say, well, our startup is very dynamic. Our CEO makes sure that he's the first person to meet the candidate. So you'll be meeting the CEO. So you never know who you'll be meeting. So ask that. Yeah. And then you can read up a little bit about their profile and their tenure in LinkedIn. You can go to LinkedIn and check out their profile. What does the company pride itself on? This is the USP that I talked about earlier, that what is this company doing differently? So for example, a very, very good example of the USP of a company, also their mission, could be a company like Jio, Reliance Jio, that when all the phone companies had very, very high rates, guys, you are so young, I don't know if you even know this, but when I started using a phone, the phone
free
rate
data.
was data.
Unlimited free data.
Yeah, that was something that Jio introduced. Guys, when I started using a phone, yeah, Tejas.
Do you know about the scratch cards, data add-ons? Like 10 rupees for Idea, 20 rupees for Airtel and for BSNL and Docomo and all the things. I know
Yes.
about it.
You know about that? I am from that generation, guys,
It's
where when we
Millennials,
when we started
also
using
know that.
phones, you know that? Okay. When we started using phones, I'll tell you this you may not know, that when I started using a mobile phone, incoming calls used to be chargeable. So if somebody called you, it was like 1 rupee per minute, something like that. So incoming
yeah.
calls Yeah, so even
तो
incoming
like
call.
आपको ऐसा होता है कि like मुझे कम बात करनी है, ज्यादा परेशान मत करो।
Yeah, फोन उठाते बोलते जल्दी बोलो जल्दी बोलो जल्दी बोलो क्या बोल रहा है ऐसे करके. So incoming calls were chargeable, outgoing calls were more expensive. So incoming calls were 1 rupee per minute, outgoing calls were 3 rupees per minute, and data was non-existent at that time because we used to have that Nokia wala
It's
phone.
like 1 GB for a month.
Yeah,
I had
1
seen
GB for
1
an
GB per
entire month. It wasn't even a GB, guys. It was less than 1 GB. It was like KBs in KBs and stuff. But anyway, all the companies were doing the same thing. Okay, all the companies were charging the same thing. Your Airtel, Vodafone, Idea, all these companies were charging among this almost the same rates. Then Jio came into the picture and they said, no, we want all Indians to be able to afford phones, and we want all Indians to have internet. So they made a breakthrough. And guys, for the first time in my life, I would see कूड़ा ले जाने वाला भी फोन पे बात कर रहा है, रिक्शा चलाने वाला भी फोन पे बात कर रहा है, नाली साफ करने वाला भी फोन पे बात कर रहा है. That was very cool for us to see, and that is a good measure for a company, for a country to be developed in a way that everyone has equal access to, to services and to these kind of things. So
They made it accessible for everyone.
absolutely. So that
And
I
they
would
also introduced micro SIM card, maybe. They
15
are the one. Yeah, they are the one.
maybe so. I don't know about the micro sims, but definitely the accessibility and affordability, they were the pioneers in that. So this question, what does the company pride itself on? This is what you want to look at. How are they different from the competition? What is their USP? What is something special about them? So that's what that means. And then you also have to look at what do other people say about the company. So basically your Glassdoor, Ambition Box, Yelp, Google, things like that, Reddit, you can go on there and see what people or ex-employees have to say about the company. So this is basically what you need to research in terms of the company before you go for the interview, guys. There's a lot that you should know before you go for the interview, so just giving you a sense of that. And generally, who are their competitors, like Airtel, Vodafone, things like that. This is important, what's going on broadly within the industry. So this is more to do with technologies. What kind of technologies are people getting into? So for example, in the vehicle industry, in automobiles, EVs have become like new. Electric vehicles is the new thing, or automated vehicles, AI based vehicles like Teslas. This is the new thing. So if you're applying within the automobile industry or within the car industry, then this is something that you should generally know about, that okay, what is AI doing now? So for example, it became a big thing that Tesla had self-driven cars, that you didn't have to drive the cars, the car will drive itself. But now the update is that those cars are also having a lot of accidents. So you should keep yourself updated on these things. You should know about it so you can talk about it. Okay, guys, I'll wait for a second and come to you if you have any questions. Does anyone have any questions? Questions, anyone? Any thoughts? Okay, let's go back to
Can I suggest one thing?
Ma'am,
sure.
Ma'am, there are many companies which are doing the same thing. If we are going for interview in one such company, then what we can say about their company? Like they are not doing something unique or different from others. So in that case, how we can uh, express our interest or towards the company or something like that?
That's a very good point, Pooja. Sometimes we just have to lie. So when we go to a company, we can just say, "Oh, this company." You can say things like, so there's always a way to sugarcoat even the most normal things. You can say something like, "I love that this company is so stable, that it's been around for a long time. It's one of the oldest players. I'm looking for stability," things like that. And even if it's not amongst the top like 3, you can say it's amongst the top 10 companies in this industry, things like that. You'll have to be creative in coming. Jhoti tarif kar dena thodi se. But we'll address this question when we get to the interview questions, and we discuss why do you want to work with our company. Yeah, why should we hire you, or why this company? Then we'll get to that answer. Today is the 3rd session, right, Pooja?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so okay, next session onwards, Tuesday onwards, we should start taking the questions. Tejas, you wanted to add something?
I wanted to add, like, there are more companies in the market and we are applying for it. So, like, negotiation questions, salary negotiation questions.
We'll do
It's
that.
very important.
It is very important. I'll tell you how to do negotiation. But guys, if I don't cover, for example, Tejas, when we do the questions, if I don't cover the negotiation question, please remind me to do it and I will
Okay.
include it. Guys, make a list of the questions you'd like me to cover. अरे आरुषि कहाँ लग गए फोन पे? फोन तो मत करो बैठ के. ठीक है?
मम्मी एक आया था तो मैंने बोला बाद में करने को,
अच्छा
काट
हाँ,
दिया।
अच्छा काट दिया. ठीक है, बहुत अच्छा किया. ठीक है guys, make a list of the questions that you'd like me to cover also, apart from the ones that I will do. If I miss out on any question, make sure that you have me answer that question. So make a list of the questions. Okay, now let's look at some other preparation for the interview. So
Ma'am,
this,
one more thing I want to ask you if
Yeah.
you're interested. If you're... So I did a podcast with Sunstone, so I want your good feedback on that. So like I can improve on other things. So
you did a podcast
with Sunstone, yeah.
with Sunstone. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Tejas, you can send me the link to that on LinkedIn and I will look at it.
Something like the student experience kind of.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Sure. You can send me the link on LinkedIn and I will give you feedback.
Okay.
Okay. All right, guys. So basically, this point of preparing a list of expected interview questions, I'll do that with you and I'll cover this point for you. So you don't have to worry about it. This is very important. Organize your documents, guys. Please don't go into an interview without a CV. And I've done that. It's very embarrassing. So they say, can I have your CV? And I was like, I already sent it to you. And they're like, you didn't get it print out. It's very embarrassing. Please always take your CV when you go for an interview and any other documents that they might look at. So your graduation certificate or your educational certificates, you can take a photocopy of that. You obviously don't have to take the original, and take a printout of your resume and your cover letter. Does anybody know what a cover letter is? A lot of companies still ask for cover letters. What's a cover letter?
Cover letter may be concluded as like referral one or the one you are readying for yourself, for the company maybe.
Okay, Nidhi?
It's a letter from our side that we are interested in this, or it's whole about what we are thinking about the company and why we are fit up in that company for that role.
Yes, very good, Nidhi, very good. Bijay, the difference, there is no difference between a CV and a resume. Resume and CV mean the same thing. CV is short for, I think, curriculum
It's
vitae,
curriculum
something.
vitae. Curriculum
Vitae, it's
vitae.
like
Yeah.
French. It's French or something, which means the same thing as your resume. So it's the same thing. I think there was a slight difference in the beginning that your CV used to be more like sort of like bullet points or tabular. It had tables or bullet points, and resume was more explanatory with more details, but now it's the same thing. Manpreet said the letter to attach with the CV is the cover letter. Yes, but you are not telling me what it means. So Nidhi kind of told us the answer, and Tejas also. So basically, guys, your cover letter will change with every company that you're applying with. So a cover letter is more customized as to why are you applying with this company, and you give a summary of why you're applying with the company and what is your job role and your experience. But in the CV, it's more like bullet points. In a cover letter, you talk a little bit more about your perspective. So you can say something like, dear sir, ma'am, this is in reference with my application for the position of so and so. I have experience and expertise in so and so, and I've always wanted to work in this industry, and your company is one of the pioneers. So ye thoda explanation of why this job, why this company, what is your background, more in a letter form to the company. It's more customized. CV is the same, you just keep applying the same CV everywhere, but cover letter is more for this particular company that you're applying with, so you have to put in more effort, right? And here also you basically have to sell the idea of why it's a good fit, why are you applying for this job, what is your background, and things like that. Apprenticeship is sort of like internship. When you are an apprentice, you are an intern. So if you're working with a company for free, just for the experience or for a small stipend, that is also apprenticeship. मैं ही नहीं बोल पा रही apprenticeship because they don't use this word anymore.
Then ma'am, then what is the difference between internship and this
Apprenticeship, I don't think there is. I don't have my phone right now. I can look it up for you. I don't think there's a difference, but I can look it up. There may be a difference. Let me quickly check. Good questions, guys. I don't think people use apprenticeship so much anymore.
I don't know about that word apprenticeship. It's
Okay.
new to me.
Apprenticeship. Okay, let me look it up.
Ma'am, I
Not so
know
much.
down.
It just
It's
says
like the
main.
same with like internship, but you are attached with your own classroom and you are doing it on the like with college. You are doing an internship and you just get hands-on knowledge while also studying your own work.
Okay. I can give you
No,
sorry. Guys, the major difference that I could see is the difference between internship and apprenticeship is that internship is more like you just gaining experience or like an introduction to a job. So you go for a job for like a week or a month or a couple of months where you just get an idea. I'll tell you, Yuvraj. So just to get an idea of what the job is like, and for them it's free labor basically. They get like a person to do all their small things. So internship is generally that, and you do it either for free against the experience, you get experience, or you do it for a very small amount. Apprenticeship, I think, is more like probation, almost like a probation period where they hire you for a small salary to work with them for 3 months or 6 months, which is almost like the probation period, and they test you out to see whether they want to offer you a full-time job or not. So that is the major difference. Yeah.
ma'am, can you
Um,
once again explain the difference between the CV and the cover letter?
CV and cover letter. So CV basically, CV is your resume. CV and resume is basically apprenticeship. Yeah. So Vijay, I just explained the difference between apprenticeship and internship. So internship is generally very short and it's like a tester and they pay you generally in experience or a very small amount. Apprenticeship is more like probation where they test you out for a few months before they decide whether they want to give you a full-time job or not. Um, Arushi, I'll just tell you CV and cover letter. Yuvraj also asked me about cover letter. Get a small experience about the corporate job. Yes, Aryan. And also, I think apprenticeship is when the company really wants to ensure whether they want to hire you or not. So they will give you, it's almost like a job for 3 months or 6 months. And after that probation period of 3 months or 6 months, they will decide based on your performance whether they want to hire you and give you a full-time job. Okay, guys, a cover just to paste कर दिया. An apprenticeship is a structured training program that combines practical on-the-job experience with classroom instructions. It is designed to help individuals gain industry-specific skills while earning a wage. Da, 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 da. It is known as work with company. It is also paid like Tata. Yeah. So yeah, guys, it's quite similar. Internships and apprenticeship, they're quite similar. Apprenticeship is more deep, I think. They give you more access, they let you into the company more, they let you do your job before deciding whether they want to offer you that as a full-time job or not. Internship is generally just like an introduction to the company, and they give you low-level jobs. They'll say print out layout, yeah, can you distribute this to everyone and things like that. Yep. So you can read Tejas's summary also on internship and apprenticeship. To explain cover letter, guys, cover letter. So basically, Arushi asked me what's the difference between a CV and a cover letter. So guys, when you make your CV is actually very, very brief. So it's more like checkpoints. So you talk about, so it's like a CV is so brief that you will hear this very often that HR looks at your CV for 7 seconds. That is the common norm, that they quickly look at your CV and they should know everything about you within like a few seconds. So they see your name, they see your education, your professional experience, what you're applying for. That's it. That is what your CV is. Cover letter is more personalized. So for example, if you have a CV, Arushi, then you can apply for jobs with 15 companies. CV bheja, dhar, 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 15 times you've sent the CV and you've applied for the job. However, if you're applying with Google, for example, and they say also attach your cover letter, then you'll write a cover letter which is very personalized for Google, that I've always wanted to work with Google because Google is the best company in its industry, blah, blah, blah. And it was my passion to work as a software engineer, something like that. So it is more personalized. CV is same for everyone. Okay? Okay. Did I answer all the questions? Ma'am. एक आ गया ma'am. What are the steps to follow to become an HR? Okay, wow, that's a loaded question. So first of all, Sri Krishna, the first thing is that you should have studied HR in your management studies. So if you did your BBA or your MBA, then you would have to specialize in HR. So you should have that kind of experience. And then you just start applying for HR jobs. It's a good idea to apply for an HR executive or an internship with an HR firm. Or if it's a small firm, then you can just start working in the HR role. So sometimes they ask for the educational qualification where you have expertise in HR studies, and sometimes they just look for relevant experience. So if you're working with a startup and you were handling the HR activities, itna formal hone ki zarurat nahi hai, Tejas, you can just ask. So it depends on the company. If it's a very big company, like like a Google or something, they might want the educational certification also. Otherwise, you can even start just collecting the experience. If the company asks, then I attach the cover letter. So okay, that's a very good question, guys. Harshit is asking, do we attach a cover letter only when the company asks, or can we do that ourselves also? So to answer this question, guys, normally the company will ask you to attach a cover letter, then you can do that. However, if there's a dream job or a dream company that you want to work with, then you can attach a cover letter yourself. That is giving you an extra edge or brownie points, something like that, to show the company that I really want to work with you. So you can also proactively attach a cover letter if that's a job that you really, really want. Okay, 1 second, guys.
Ma'am,
Yes.
you had told us that you had very much dynamic job experiences and your career. I don't know. So like I had heard about two jobs, if you know about that. So one is like they are giving you the direct job, and the second one is they are keeping you on a training period for at least 3 to 6 months, and then if you're not qualified, they are removing you, and you are qualified, so then they are giving you a full-time job. So what we have to do, like which one is the good? So I want to ask.
I don't think you can choose the method of hiring for a company. The company is in power, so they can decide whether they want to hire you for a full-time job directly, whether they want to offer you an internship, or if they want to keep a probation period. That's completely up to the company. So the companies that are really strong with a good reputation, they might put you through a probation period or an apprenticeship period where they want to test you to see how well you perform. I don't think we have the choice to decide which one to take.
Ma'am,
No, when you are applying for the
we
company.
can,
When you're applying for
ma'am,
the
he's
company,
asking how to decide if we should apply for the company who is keeping us on the probation period for 5 to 6 months.
oh,
Like, how we can do that? Like,
well,
Yes, ma'am.
it depends on how big the company is, and how successful the company is. It's your choice then to decide. So for example, if you got the opportunity to work between Facebook or a very small startup, but Facebook has a probation period, you may want to go for Facebook even though they have the probation period, right? So that's your discretion how you decide which company to work with. Yeah. Okay. Ma'am, just like I have done MBA in finance, can I join HR? So Vijay, then during the interview, they can ask you that your specialization is in finance. Why do you want to join HR? So then you should have, I mean, it depends on what kind of answer you can give. If you're very passionate about HR, then they'll ask you the reasons. You should be able to tell them the reasons. And also you should have some sort of experience in HR. So if you're skipping or jumping from one specialization to another, people will ask questions that, okay, if you've studied finance, why do you want to come in HR? So you should have a good answer for that, and you should have some sort of experience also to back that. HR and manager are same or not? No, Yuvraj. HR and manager are not the same. HR is a department which is human resources, which deals in hiring people, managing their documents, managing their performance, and firing people, also letting go of people. So that is basically what human resources does. They manage the resources of the company or the employees of the company. Manager could be any manager. So even in HR department, there can be a manager. In the operations department, there can be a manager. In every department, there can be a manager. Manager is just a position. So you start as an executive or an associate or an engineer, and then when you get a promotion, you become a manager. How to create an ATS friendly resume. Okay. You can find samples of ATS friendly resumes online. You have templates ready. You can just pick up that template. But basically, your resume should be more bullet point types. It should be very precise like that and not like big paragraphs. Otherwise, you can just find an ATS friendly template online. Just type in ATS friendly resume and you'll find it. What is the difference between manager and supervisor? So supervisor is anybody who is supervising you. They may not be a manager. So supervisor is anybody that you have to report to. So for example, let's say I've hired Khushi, but Nidhi has been in the system longer than Khushi. Then I'll just tell Khushi, you have to report to Nidhi till you get better. So for 1 month, tell Nidhi everything. So then Nidhi kind of becomes the supervisor, but she does not hold a designation. Manager is somebody who actually has the designation of a manager and they've got that promotion. My specialization, guys, I don't have a specialization. I did my master's in general psychology, so it just helps me with training because I'm able to read people better, but that's my specialization. Can you share any pic of ATS resume? You can Google this, guys, very easily for ATS, but I will also look for this. I will try and attach an ATS resume the next time. When we discuss resumes, I'll show you an ATS resume also. I'll write that down. They just sent me a connection request. Thank you, Tejas. I will get to it later. Guys, you can connect with me on LinkedIn if you want. A lot of questions. Okay, guys, the recording link has been shared and the feedback link for this session both have been shared. So you can, if you want to watch this session again, you can check the recording. And if the feedback form link, you have to fill the feedback. Okay, do we have any other questions? Where was I on the resume? Okay, guys, let me just finish this bit of the documents that you have to carry. कोई app है जिसमें resume. Guys, it is very, very easy to create resumes. These days, everything is AI based. Even when I was looking for resume related content, I was trying to type what all should you include in a resume, and the Google results kept coming as resume builder, resume builder, resume builder. Build your resume in 5 seconds. Build your resume. So it's very easy now. So if you just type in resume building, you will find a lot of websites where you can just enter your information and they'll make a resume for you. And I will show you templates of resumes, so don't worry about that. Okay, guys, I'll finish the slide that I was showing you earlier of the kind of documents that you have to carry. So please take your resume and cover letter. I hope everyone now understands the difference between a CV and the cover letter. Take all your important documents, including your mark sheets, certificates, ID proof, and photographs. Guys, sometimes when you apply for a job, when you're going for an interview, you can get hired on the spot and they will ask for your documents to start onboarding you. So if you have your documents, it'll just speed up the process. So just carry all the documents with you. I have an uncle, like my Mosa, he gave me this advice that I'll share with you, to always keep passport sized photographs in your wallet. You should always have passport sized photographs in your wallet because you never know where you might need it, especially when you're going for interviews. They may ask for the passport sized photos and it just speeds up your onboarding and for you to join the company. So please keep that in your wallet. And if you have work experience, if you worked before, then these documents are relevant. You may want to carry Mosa. What's that? Tejas?
Ma'am, you told the thing, Mosa.
Mo-
It's more like Mosaji and something, Masaji or something.
Acha, I can't say Mosa.
No, you can say, but it's funny something.
Okay. So my Mosi's husband told me this. He's so funny. Like, you're so good at distracting me, Tejas. Good job with that, distracting me. Okay.
No, ma'am, I was just dynamically asking you questions and getting the answer. I'm not distracting you.
No. Just now. I got so confused. I was like, what is Mosa? Samosa ka short form Mosa. Can I have a Mosa, please? All right. So if you have experience, please carry your salary slips, relieving letter. A lot of times the HR will ask you for the relieving letter or some sort of letter from the previous employers. And bank statement is also for your salary slips, guys. Sometimes they will ask for evidence for your the last salary that you drew. I'll quickly finish this bit and then we'll continue the next time. if you've had any, this is very important, guys, if you've had any achievements, recommendations, testimonials, appreciation, anything of that sort, and if it's documented, please take a printout of that, because I'll tell you the reason for this. If you're saying, like in my case, when I was working, I was the best performer in the team and I got so many appreciation emails from my clients, but if I don't carry that to the interview, then I'm just telling them that I was the best, and they're like, do you have any proof of that? Then I don't have a proof. But if I brought those accolades or testimonials or appreciation with me, then I can leverage that to ask for higher salary. So this is also a part of negotiation. I think somebody asked me earlier that how do you negotiate for better salary during the interview? You negotiate only based on facts. You have to carry proof of why you're better than the others. And if you're asking for a big amount, what is the reason for it? You have to be able to show some documents for that. Should we add the certificates of appreciation in our CV or carry along? Yeah, Pooja.
So we need to keep a hard copy of these proofs, because in this digital world, like we put in online CVs, we put the
Yeah.
links
You can. That's a
directly
very
in
good
this.
point, Pooja. Absolutely. If you have links, you can add it to your CV. However, if you carry a copy of it while going for the interview, it's not such a bad thing, because when you're sitting at an interview, they will probably not open the system to check the links, right? So you can just show them a printout. So somebody asked earlier that should we put it on the CV or not? So you can put a brief in your CV. For example, I received certificates for so and so, received appreciation for so and so, received award for so and so, and then when you go for the interview, you should be able to show it as a document also. Yeah, so this just makes it more credible, and then you can leverage that to ask for more salary. This is very important. This is the last point, guys, that please update your social media. If you are an Instagram influencer, please make your profile private before you go for an interview, because you'll be like dancing and whatever, and then these days interviewers and companies have really started checking people's social media to see what kind of person they are. Do you know how some people who have been radical, who have had political opinions, very radical political opinions, they have been fired because they had those opinions and they are not hired? A lot of so this is not related to us, so I can tell you. So a lot of these pro-Palestine supporters in US have been suspended from universities and have been fired from their jobs for participating in the protests too much. That has happened in US. So these days companies are very careful about the kind of people that they want to hire. So if you are way too active on social media, and you are, for example, if you are spreading a lot of hate, for example, if you go on Twitter and you're writing about political parties or things on X or on Twitter, which are very inflammatory and very controversial, then no company will hire you, because they've looked at your Twitter and your X. Do you understand that, everyone?
It's
So
like
be-
judging
Ma'am,
you through your social media, maybe.
what if we are,
I'm so sorry.
what if we are not in any of this apps
Social media.
or website,
That's good. That's good then.
social media platforms, right? Okay.
Yeah. No problem with that. If they can't find you on social media, that's not a bad thing.
It doesn't show a negative point of like a negative image of me, like I'm very much socially absent or something like that. I don't have any opinions, or
It can be suspicious in these times. Somebody who's absolutely not present on social media can be slightly suspicious, but I would say that if you have a LinkedIn, for example, then that's enough. That's what they should be concerned with. So at least make a LinkedIn. Prakash, sorry, Tejas, sorry, what were you asking?
I was telling that it is okay that they can judge you through your social media, that what you are doing and not, and rather than being in front of you and what you are presenting yourself to themselves.
Yeah, so they double check that these days, and they would definitely screen you to see whether you've had any controversies, whether you have any extremist ideology, if you are fighting on the internet all the time, things like that. A lot of people actually do that on X. Prakash, I will not be able to share my Instagram ID here, but you have my LinkedIn. And then Aryan is secretly telling me Prakash is an influencer on Instagram. What kind of influencer is he? Prakash, what do you do? Okay, guys. So here I'm ending the session. We have covered your preparation in terms of what all do you need to know before you go for an interview. However, we'll in the next session we'll start your resume building and what all you need to include in your resume, guys. Quickly going to skip to your quiz. How did so many of you get so many answers wrong? So to tell you the questions, guys, quickly, if you can look at your resume, if you can look at your quiz, I'm telling you the answers. So question number one.
Ma'am, I didn't did the quiz. Can I get the link once again?
Okay. Pooja will just paste the link in the chat box. Should I
Okay.
tell them the answers? Then this stages, this is like cheating then. You didn't.
Ma'am, just wait for a minute. I will do it quickly.
Pooja देख लेना तेजस का. He's done. अब देखो, it's already 8:20 and Tejas is saying I want to fill the quiz now. निकाल दो पूजा, तेजस को बाहर निकालो इस सेशन में से. Let him fill in the quiz. Kick him out of the session. Can you do that? Let me see if I can do that.
Wait, ma'am, I will
I
leave
can
the meeting
stop.
and I will rejoin. I will leave the meeting and I will rejoin after doing my quiz. That's okay.
We are ending the meeting anyway, Tejas. So you can leave the meeting and we'll discuss the answers and I'll talk to you in the next session. Don't worry. Leave the meeting.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
Bye, ma'am.
Okay, guys, for the rest of you, wait, oh, he actually left, yeah, he's good. Okay. So, let me tell you the answers real quick, guys. Question number one was, when preparing for an interview, you should research. The right answer is about the company in the About Us section on their website. That's the right answer. Question number two, to prepare for the interview, you should read up on all of the above. So you should do all of these. Question number three, where can you check reviews about a company? Glassdoor and Ambition Box. Find the company's employees on LinkedIn and ask them. This was like a trick answer, guys. Please don't do that. Don't start stalking people that you're applying for a job with. Question number four, what does work-life balance mean? The answer to this is that you finish your work within working hours and keep your personal life healthy as well. That is the right answer. And question number five, what does integrity mean? Is to always do the right thing, even if it's inconvenient. That is integrity. So those are the answers, guys. Do you have any questions before we end the session?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Did we learn something new today?
Yes, ma'am.
Why do you sound so sad?
Ma'am.
Manpreet?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, I heard
Yes.
like there is nothing like work-life balance for the freshers. You can't say someone like we are finding work-life balance because you are just starting the work journey, and if you are finding the balance from now, then what will you do for the company in future?
It is more difficult for the freshers, but this is a good measure for you to see how good a company is. Even for freshers, if they're offering good work-life balance, that's a good sign to choose that company. And this you can find when you're reading their website and Glassdoor and things like that. They'll talk about these things, that they have good work-life balance. Yeah. Okay, guys, if you have more questions, please reserve them for the next session. It's late. I want you guys to have some sort of a weekend. You're welcome, Harshit. And I will see you on Tuesday, okay? So please come with your questions on Tuesday. I have to create a quiz again. I will do that. Okay, Tejas, welcome back. And we are just leaving. I will see you on Tuesday. Pooja, you want to add something?
No, ma'am.
Okay, guys, have a great weekend. I will see you on Tuesday. Bye-bye.
Bye, ma'am.
Thank you so
Bye,
much,
bye,
ma'am.
bye, ma'am.
Thank you.
Good night, Radhe Radhe, ma'am.
राधे राधे, गुड नाइट गाइस. 2-3 लोग राधे राधे बोलते हैं.